Good morning. It's time for a morning session. You can see the light shining in through my window, and it's a nice day to play piano. All right, let's go. Just gonna close this for the light. So, good morning. I was just concepting a piece for my friend Cindy, who is another philosopher of music and a philosopher in general, in her own right. And she's amazing. And so I was concepting this piece a little bit earlier. I didn't record it. It was here. It was centered on these three notes, with the tonic being G, of course. So we've got the major third, which represents, as a chord, it represents me and my emotions generally. That's why it's so often. So major third at the top in the melody, and then now we shift to another key, but still the major third. It's dominant, but the triad is still similar. There it is. Major third. Anyway, so major third is me. And when I was concepting this piece for Cindy earlier, I was working with these three notes. So that would be the major second, which would be my denotation for probably in general a matriarchal influence as a friend, because GA was originally concepted as the interval that represents my relationship with Barbara, right? And then just the same way, the augmented seventh and the tonic is the twin poke theme, as well as the bass of Roger, as well as the bass of the half step in between those three notes I was using for Cindy's theme. So obviously this is the major third, this is the major second, this is the minor third, and the minor third is sort of the reflection of the major third in a lot of ways. The same way in tarot, a reversed card doesn't necessarily mean the exact opposite of its meaning. Something in reflection is the same but changed, watery. And so in the same way, major chords are a reflection of minor chords. And you're actually waiting for it to come back to the minor or major, since I started with the major, but let's start with the minor. that's just a little playing around with that idea, the idea of reflections. So I think I settled on that last composition. I remember settling around this. It's like, is she a reflection, or is she the major other reflection? Perhaps both. Is she just a feminine, like, anti-patriarchal friend? Sure. I mean, all those notes are going to be and have been used already, the intervals in the piece I just composed. Anyway, I'm going to have to go back and listen to the leitmotif before I can do any more work on it, but that's just some info into my head, where I'm getting from, what the seed is. And my friend Cindy is a philosopher. Some of the work that I'm doing for her piece, I can leitmotif, which is specific to her and her characterization. I want to make that extra clear. I wrote this for her, thinking of her. That's the only way I can write music with emotion and archetype in mind. And the easiest way through for me is through my love of people, specific people for specific reasons. And we were talking this morning a lot, so I was thinking of her. But I'll get back to that leitmotif after I listen to it some more, listen to my progress on it that I just lost by talking to you. And the reflection sort of idea. It would have to be the major in G, that is the major scale. So I was actually doing a diminished seventh. That's why G is so bright. I've talked before about how F sharp and G, to me, I don't know if it's mathematically proven, but to me are the two most similar tones on a piano. Maybe on my piano specifically. But obviously I could do some research with like the wavelengths and stuff and try to figure it out. The comparative wavelength of all of the half steps on my keyboard. But instead of doing that, let's just assume that my ear is right and play some more. Start of a bright new day. And although I'm tired, so tired. Got a skeleton crew working, and that was the toned down arrangement but still happy part of that. I've got essentially a metaphorical skeleton crew working. I understand that. I understand that I'm not getting enough rest. I need to focus on getting enough water and food and all of that, because intellectual pursuits, although always my true joy, don't keep me full. Metaphysically, sure. actual, literal, physically. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a hard no. I can't compose if I can't sit and play and meditate through and breathe through it, which is what I'm having trouble with right now. It's kind of like writer's block, except I'm just very tired. I have a lot to do today. I need to get to work. Talk to you guys later.